This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're coming to you from the Growth Capital Expo at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas 2016. I have with me Chuck Coppa, American Power Group. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is APGI. Chuck, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelley. Thank you very much for the invitation. I greatly appreciate it. I've had a great day so far. Looking forward to the next day also.
It's good to have you.
Thank you.
So let's get into it. Give me a overview of the company, and then we'll move from there.
At American Power Group, we have a patented technology that allows you to take an existing diesel engine and retrofit it to run on a combination of natural gas and diesel simultaneously. It's software driven, so it's engine agnostic. On average, we can displace up to 65% of diesel with natural gas, therefore having significant emission reduction benefits, especially in states like California, which are very adamant about emission reduction. It is software driven, so it's engine agnostic. We can do almost any diesel engine that's out there today, and because it's software driven, at any point in time, if you're running out of natural gas, the software will pick that up and will go back to 100% diesel, so you never run out of natural gas out there. The other side of our business is what's called our flare capture business. We're in the Bakkens of North Dakota, and a big problem they have up there is the flaring of waste gas on the drill sites. It's an emission issue, and both North Dakota and the federal government are coming down on it. We've got technology that allows you to take that flare gas and be able to extract the methane and the remaining thanes that are in there. We sell those other thanes off into in a liquid form that goes into the petrochemical industry. And right now there's a significant amount of petrochemical demand coming up and capacity, and we see a very significant opportunity in selling the NGL side of the business. And again, we're playing off of the delta between diesel and natural gas on the dual fuel side of the business, and depending on the fluctuation between diesel and natural gas, our customers can see anywhere from a 5 to 15% annual fuel savings, which for transportation folks is significant.
When you're talking about fleets especially, and that's what we're talking about.
Correct. Right now, we are the leader in the United States by a factor of 20x as far as the number of approvals we have with EPA. There's no one else out there on the dual fuel side of the business here in the United States. So we're focusing on the bigger fleets. We've got several groups who've converted over 100 trucks because they're natural gas advocates, both from an economic perspective, but we're seeing more on the sustainability and the emission reduction side of the business because emission standards are only getting tighter. Both federal, state, and local, and we can have measurable, I'm talking 50 to 100% reduction in some of the real bad emissions that are out there. So that's what's appealing to the larger fleets. The Walmarts of the world, the UPSs of the world have mandates where their subcontractors have to have X% of alternative fuels. We're the solution for them. And on average, the cost of our retrofit in the vehicle side is about $30,000 all in. That's comparison to a dedicated natural gas engine, which will be about $180,000. So our pitch is we can take and retrofit 6 of your existing trucks for the price of 1, have a much bigger impact on your emissions, have a bigger impact on your fuel savings, and because it's retrofit, if you were to trade that vehicle in 2 years or a year or 3 years, you could take our kit off, put it onto another truck within your fleet. So the useful life of that is pretty significant. And we're, like I said earlier, I mean, we're seeing a big push. A lot of the bigger fleets, the emission reduction aspect of it is a significant driver.
Chuck, let me ask you. When you say it's driven by software, so what's the retrofit composed of? Is it a small computer, I guess? And then part B of my question is it razor and razor blade? So what are you making? So all right, take my questions, wrap it into an answer.
So as it relates to the technology, so basically what happens is a diesel engine has a turbocharger that's in there, which the objective is to bring air into the engine to give it a little extra boost. We introduce the natural gas to the air that's already being drawn into the engine, therefore turbocharging the air that's going in there. So the engine says, I have a demand for this amount of energy, historically getting almost all of it from the diesel. Now it's getting a bigger piece from the natural gas, backs off on the diesel part of it. So it's a very simple approach. The software what's driving that. So the software is monitoring the diagnostics of the engine and determining the maximum amount of natural gas that they can introduce, but remembering what comes in must come out. So monitoring the tailpipe emissions to make sure that you're still compliant in that regards out there.
So now what's the razor blade?
So we're working today with 6 of the top 10 natural gas suppliers here in the United States, the clean energies of the world, a lot of the truck stops. They've got a boatload of natural gas. We've got significant reserves of natural gas here in the United States. And our pitch is we're the razor to their razor blade. So again, the pitch going out to a potential customer or fleet is we can take 6 of your trucks and we can sell a lot more natural gas from a clean energy or whomever than a dedicated natural gas engine at a sixth of the price point. So our presentation to the gas guys is we are the low cost widget to consume a lot of your gas. Hence your analogy of the razor to the razor blade, and we're seeing that. We've got a relationship we just started down in Mexico with 2 international groups. One's an energy company, one is a fueling supply company. They're putting natural gas infrastructure into large Mexican cities. They've chosen us as a solution of choice, and what they'll do is they're going to wrap the cost of our solution into the cost of the gas, so it's no money up front for the customer, and they're going to be consuming a significant amount of natural gas.
So Chuck, let me ask you a question about OEM, original equipment manufacturers. Why wouldn't this become adopted by a manufacturer? Maybe you've been out in the market how long so far?
We've been out since 2012.
Okay. So that's enough of a test market, So what's the story on OEM?
I would say that one of the challenges we had in the dual fuel side of the business is that the concept has been around for many years and historically has been a miserable failure. So when we first got into this, we were told by a lot of the OEMs, God bless, been there, done that, doesn't work. And we said, well, we believe it will. We use some of the greatest brains, some ex-Ford Motors folks who are on our team to help us develop the technology and take it to the next generation on the software. The other thing, originally it was proof of concept, which we've done. We've got over 100 million miles of cumulative customer dual fuel miles out there today. So it's a durable product that has really shown no breakdowns at all. The OEMs are more interested in selling new trucks. So the biggest push has been the retrofit market. Class 8 trucks is where we focus on, 3.5 million in North America and here in the States. The OEMs want to sell new engines. The other thing is when you bring a new engine out, it's a very expensive process to bring from start to finish. But I can tell you that we have, over the last, I'd probably say, last 6 to 9 months, have got some overtures from some of the OEMs when we talk about the emission reduction aspect of what we're doing. We're willing to entertain anything.
Now, if you could tell me within the parameters that you're allowed, what does 2017 look like going forward?
For us, there's a big impact of oil because we play off the delta between diesel and natural gas. So with oil at $45 a barrel where it is right now, we're starting to see some of the fleets coming back with interest. Again, a year ago, their annual savings was 25 to 35, maybe 40%. Today it's 5 to 10, maybe 15, but it's still a measurable number when you're talking about fleets and significant miles and dollars that they spend on fuel. We've seen people do crazy things for 2 points on their fuel costs. So we still have the economic benefit. The other aspect of it is focusing a lot more on the environmental aspect of it and sustainability, and really pushing that we can have dramatic reduction on the emission profile of those guys. So I think we're optimistic about 17, both on the NGL side of the business, which is the flare capture side of the business, and dual fuel, because we are starting to see people coming back for discussions.
For more information, let's get your website out there.
Our website is www.americanpowergroupinc.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Coppa, American Power Group, publicly traded company, APGI. I'm Shelley Craft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you from the Growth Capital Expo at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas 2016. Chuck, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for the offer, Shea.